Hi guys, so we're trying something new this week because the computer is still, not working. As in it won't turn on at all. So I'm downstairs in the sister's room and I'm going to be going over 4 minutes because I have a story that I'm going to read to you guys from the new anthology that my sister just put out. But before that, I want to say all of the birthdays, all of them, Leo, Zoe, Allison, happy birthday, and the sister, of course. She turned 21. It's quite exciting. Quite exciting. But yeah. And oh my gosh, Nellie, you're in the US. But yes. I'm going to read the story now. It's called Swallow Troubles, and it's from the sisters' new anthology, Dreaming of Her and Other Stories. Okay. Once there was a swallow that flew into a man's mouth. Both of them were very shocked, naturally, and the man tried to spit the bird up, but it had lodged itself too deeply in the man's throat, so down it went. Huh, said the man, sitting down to think, if rather stupidly. I wonder how I can get this poor fellow out. It must be quite unpleasant swimming around in my stomach. The swallow, who could hear everything the man said, yelled, "Ya think?" Unfortunately, the man's thoughts required his full attention, so he didn't hear the swallow. "I know," cried the man. "I shall give myself the Heimlich maneuver." Inside his stomach, the swallow rolled his eyes. The man stood up and was about to start when his wife walked around the corner of the house and saw him with his hands on his stomach. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Had some bad milk? Are you nauseous?" "No," said the man. "I swallowed a swallow." "Well, of course you swallowed a swallow," the woman said, as if to a 6-year-old. "The thing that you swallow is the swallow, like a swallow of soup." "Did it get to your brain too, then?" The swallow snickered, wondering what it would be like to be soup. "Maybe I should get myself to the doctor," the man said. "Or perhaps a surgeon." "You're not making any sense." So the man got in his car and went to the hospital. As he sat in the waiting room, the swallow thought it might try to get out of the man's stomach, so it started to squirm upwards. This caused it to compress a nerve, which caused the man to go into convulsions. Several of the nurses screamed, but the more level-headed and experienced ones grabbed the man and wheeled him to a doctor once he had calmed down. The swallow sulked in the man's gastric juices. When the doctor examined the man's brain, he couldn't find anything wrong, save for a somewhat undeveloped frontal cortex, but he kept that to himself. So he asked the man if he had been experiencing anything else unusual. "Well," said the man, "I swallowed a swallow." "That's generally how swallowing works," replied the doctor. The man squinted. "That's about what my wife said, I think. But, sir, I don't think the swallow wants to be there anymore." "So you're feeling nauseous?" "Not me, though I'd imagine that poor bird might be, what with being rolled about in my convalescings." "Convulsions," the doctor corrected absently. Then he paused for so long that the swallow wondered if another bout of epilepsy was in order. "What do you mean by poor bird?" The doctor enunciated very carefully, looking a little confused. "The swallow, sir," said the man. "Swallows are birds, ain't they?" "You mean to tell me," the doctor said, still enunciating, "that you have a bird in your stomach?" "Yes, sir. He was trying to get out when the conversation started." "Convulsions." "Conversions?" "Convulsions. 'Tweren't no conversation, sir. I was shaken." The swallow and the doctor expressed their exasperation at the same time, it by rolling its eyes and him by sighing. "How did it get in?" "It flew." "Oh, for goodness sake," cried the swallow, "get me out!" The doctor jumped when he heard the bird. He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again, closed it again, pressed his lips together, then appeared to come to a decision. "Right, we're going to have to prep for surgery." "If the swallow just came down my throat like that," said the man, "do you really need to cut me open?" "I was going to try the Hemlock maneuver when my wife stopped making sense." Heimlich. Hogwart. "Never mind, you make a good point." The doctor shook his head, eyebrows raised. "Stand up. The man stood in front of the doctor and, with one firm motion, the doctor pressed upwards and inwards on the man's abdomen, and the swallow shot out of his mouth. "This is highly irregular," said the doctor, scratching his head. "You say that now, doctor," said the swallow. "But you didn't see what else was in there." And, yes, that was the story. I hope you liked it. I hope you have a great week. The FTBA.